Get your glass ready.
I gotta have it.
Hi, I'm Dionish.
And I'm Matthew Bunker.
And we don't know shit.
Not a bit.
Today's video is about SB1.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Sexy Bottoms 1.
Wow, she just went there. I was gonna say, like, students building one world together.
Santa Barbara's on demand.
Their only demand.
Okay, we finished guessing.
Senate Bill 1, y'all.
Oh.
Senate Bill 1. That makes more sense.
It does.
We don't know what the bill's for, or what it means, or what they're saying in it, but it's a bill for the Senate. What is Senate Bill 1? What do you think Senate Bill 1 is?
What would be the first thing that you would do? Is it about
Complain?
The roads? Is that what it's about?
Yes!
Oh shit, she was right. She really likes infrastructure.
Senate Bill 1 is a new bill to raise taxes for $52 billion to be spent on roads and bridges in the state of California.
52 million?
Billion.
Oh.
With a B.
Oh. Which freeways have the worst bridges? The 5, the 10, the 101, or the 110?
I've always found it interesting how in California we put the in front of all of our highways. In Texas, you don't say that. You just say 75. Just a little trivia. I would say the 101 because I feel like it's used the most.
I'm going to go with the 110.
Dion's correct.
Dion's always correct. Why do I even play this game?
So 6 of the 7 worst bridges in California are on the 110.
Why do you even drive on the 110?
California gas is already expensive. Why?
I'm just going to sit here and instead of answering the questions, I'm just going to comment on them. Because I also find it interesting that California gas stations vary so differently. Like you'll have one across the street that are like 20 cents different.
Yeah.
In Texas, within the city, they were all pretty much the same.
Oh, so why is it already expensive?
Apparently there are 3 reasons.
Greed. More greed.
That's the cynical answer. I'm going to go for a little logic.
Okay.
Transportation.
Okay.
Having to get at places. I feel like California has more restrictions on like emissions and all that stuff than other states do.
And because no one's using the damn metro system.
2 out of 3.
Oh,
2 out of 3.
That's you.
You're totally right about the distance. Oil refineries are mostly in the Gulf Coast. It's expensive to get it here. The other reason you gave, California is really strict about the emissions, so not all gas that can be refined in other places can be used here. And the other reason is our California state tax is higher. Our state gas tax is 7th in the nation right now.
Oh.
And they're gonna raise it.
Get your metro cards, people. What is the current gas tax?
I want to say 25 cents per gallon.
Okay.
She wants to say 28 cents per gallon.
I was thinking, I'm going to get an 8 in there.
It's 28 cents per gallon.
I don't even have a response.
8 is my lucky number. I really have
To be fair, I said 28.
Okay, but I was thinking 28.
So the gas tax is made up of 2 different state taxes. The first is the excise tax, which stays the same every year. That's about 18 cents per gallon. The other is a sales tax, which goes up and down based on the price of gas.
So the 28 cents includes the excise tax and the sales tax.
Okay.
Why doesn't the current gas tax cover the cost of our roads? Because it's going to other things?
Yeah, but what other things?
I truthfully have no idea.
Last time the gas tax was raised was 23 years ago. The gas tax doesn't increase with inflation, so the value of the dollar 23 years ago compared with now has decreased. And cars are more fuel efficient now, so even though cars are driving just as much on the road, they're not spending as much on gas, which means less money for road repair.
Okay, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Of course it always makes sense.
Well, that's not true.
What taxes are in SB1? Maybe they're going to do sort of like a car tax.
But don't we already do that when you buy a car? You have
So
to pay
then where
taxes.
does that money go to? So maybe that will go in there?
Maybe. Keep going, you're doing great.
Asshole.
That was sincere.
Oh, was it?
Pretty good.
See, now that wasn't sincere.
There's about 5 or 6 elements to this bill. The first is the gas tax. We're raising the gas excise tax that we pay 12 cents per gallon. They're also raising the diesel tax. That will be raised 20 cents per gallon. And they're raising the sales and use tax on diesel from 1.75% to 5.75%. So you are affected by that 12-cent raise, but also that raise will be indexed to inflation. So we won't have to do this again in 10 years.
But
that makes sense, so we don't have to vote on it all the time.
Yeah.
So Dion was right. There's another part of this tax. And when you register your car, you pay a transportation improvement fee. So that fee will be based on the value of your car. So for example, if you have a cheap car, you might pay $25. If your car's more than $60,000, you pay $175 every time you register your car.
That's fair enough. I mean, fuck it. If you can afford $60,000 worth of car, I'm sure you can afford $175 tax.
Yes, but that's the big issue we have with taxes already, is that the rich people get mad that they have to pay more than the poor people.
Well, then they get a shitty car.
What about electric cars?
Well, I don't know. How do you want me to answer?
How are they going to be included in this taxing situation?
Well, they still use the roads.
I would think maybe there's just a tax they add when you register an electric vehicle. There's like an additional like electric vehicle tax.
Matthew's right.
Yeah, I finally got one.
$100 annual fee beginning in 2020 if you have an electric car.
But I feel like that almost punishes people for getting a car that's, I mean, it's still $100 a year is a lot less than paying gas all year.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair.
So which groups of people do you think will be heavily affected by this bill?
It's always the poor people.
Okay.
Industry. Your industry
like
is...
truck drivers.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Uber drivers?
Yes! Postmates, Ubers.
I'm feeling the wine.
Me too. I think I need more.
So yes, you guys are right. Industry, Uber drivers, truck drivers especially. But it does affect the poor more because if the gas tax is the same on everybody, well, a rich person can
stop staring
that
at
higher
me.
Tax more than a poor person.
Okay, how will the money be spent?
On roads.
And rebuilding bridges.
Isn't that what this whole thing started with?
But I bet you the bitches won't be doing that. They'll be spending it on other stuff.
Strippers. I feel like that's what politicians spend all their money on.
But we hope it will be good to the roads and the bridges. Curbs.
I would prefer fewer curbs because when I'm parallel parking, I can't tell you how many times I hit the curb.
Well, maybe they'll get rid of curbs.
Nothing but a nuisance.
33.7 billion will be spent on maintenance and repairs. And then 8.7 billion will be spent on transit.
Congestion, though. It's like, what are they going to do for that? Is that like expanding roads?
Probably, yeah.
But transit, so that's Metro.
Who voted for SB1?
I would say Democrats.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Republicans never vote to raise taxes.
Yeah.
Like, just across the board, they don't believe in taxes.
You're right. Democrats voted for it in the Senate and the Assembly. But in the Senate, one Republican did vote for it, which was crucial. So it barely squeaked by, and really only squeaked by because one Republican in the Senate flipped. And
Because somebody bribed him or blackmailed him.
With some strippers and some hookers.
It all comes back to strippers. They actually run the country.
Okay, why did the Republican flip? We already answered that.
Strippers and blow.
Always a good combination.
Not that we know from experience. Usually it's like, I'll vote for this if you vote for this.
Yeah.
You sell votes and buy votes with votes.
Senator Anthony Carella is a Republican who voted for the gas tax increase because in negotiations with Jerry Brown and the Democrats, they agreed to give his district $400 million to expedite the creation of a new train line that will go from San Jose to Modesto and eventually Merced.
I mean, strippers would be much more interesting.
For sure.
So another big sticking point in the passage of this bill was the Republicans. They wanted money to repair roads and bridges, but they didn't want it to come from taxes.
Where did the Republicans want the money to come from, if not from taxes? They want to take money from education.
Yeah, or healthcare.
Or the arts.
Or the arts.
Basically everything
Or
that's
the
good in this
homeless
world.
people. Or Planned Parenthood.
It's none of those things.
Oh, okay.
The California high-speed rail.
Oh, but I want that.
That would be awesome.
Because then we could just take a day trip to go to San Francisco.
Totally.
I do get where they're coming from in the idea of like, let's fix the roads we have instead of building something else. But I'm glad things are the way they are.
Yeah.
Because I want to go to San Francisco.
You still can, buddy.
Ugh, I don't want to get on a plane, and I'm definitely not driving 7 hours on roads that are going to crumble beneath me.
So, Mr. Bunker, what did you learn today?
The SB1 is a bill to increase the gas tax to improve our roads and transit and other infrastructure stuff. And we also learned the gas tax, that it's broken down into the 18-cent excise tax that doesn't change and then a sales tax that does change. And from this point forward, it'll be linked to inflation, so we
Yeah.
don't have to do this all the time. We learned that a Republican flipped for this vote.
And we learned that poor people normally foot the bill in these sales increases.
Do you think this is a good idea, Dion?
I am for it, but I don't own a car. Logically, I think I probably would be pissed.
I'm for it because our roads suck, and I want a better metro system. Why is our metro system so crappy?
I don't know. Maybe we can find out about that in our next video?
If you would like to know your shit and learn along with us, subscribe to our videos and like our page on Facebook.
Yes. We put out videos every Wednesday, and if there is something that you want to learn, message us. I'm Dionish,
And I'm Matthew Bunker.
and this was
Know Your Shit. But
Do you know the way to San Jose? My namesake sung that song.
Dionne Warwick?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah!
I do listen. I don't know who Dionne Warwick is though.